is Akshata Mahajan, the author of To Be Late. The book is about an uncanny Hiya Arya, whose underdog story to beat her father turned into a romantic comedy on the streets of Japan when an unexpected person with an unexpected life came along. Let's get on with the reading now. Walking down the countryside hill, you would want me to say, "It's so beautiful as you can imagine," something like that. But the reality is, I have sweat dripping down from my forehead and I am trying to control my bike while completely missing the beautiful as you can imagine here. It is pretty until you don't notice the lack of paths for cars to go on. How do people do this every day? I'm not built for this life, I guess. No, actually I'm sure now. I thought a weekend outside the city would be fun, but then again, the idea of fun is so vague. Like, life making fun of me does have fun in it. Coming to a village side was not a very bright idea. I finally understood. No one speaks English here, and to add, no people for miles at a stretch. I should have gone to one of those tourist locations. That would have been better. Standing in the middle of the road with no end, I couldn't find the location in my navigation, neither could I find a person to ask the way. Well, asking someone was also a lost cause, as I had no idea how to even pronounce the name right anyway. I bet I would be the joke of the day in the village, the lost idiot. I am tired, but I am also in the middle of nowhere. What should I even do? See, the thing is with me, whenever I am done with my whining, life does send someone to help. And that is what exactly happened. I saw a car coming and like a madman, I started to wave it down. I bet if I was some random Japanese, they would report it to the police, but I am not, so I have an advantage. They slowed down the van and stopped right before me. The one in the front seat rolled down his window and looked at me with astonishment. Tasakuti. I hope I said it right. Well, the hell with it. I need help. Help. I said as simple as I could. Put it in it. And crossed my fingers that they would know English. What happened? He asked. Oh, I thank the gods. He knew English. You have no clue how happy I was when he understood me. It had been 2 days that I had no one understanding anything I would say, and this was just like in heaven. I am lost. Could you just tell me which way is the village? No, I'm just wishing he knew the way. Which one are you talking about? As he asked this, I was totally confused. Why would he ask which village? As far as I knew, there wasn't a village nearby. I took out my phone and showed him the resort's address. Just like some comedy movie, he first looked at the address and then at me, and then again at the address and again at me. All the while, I was just blankly staring at him and asking myself the ultimate question. Why? He looked at me and said, "You have come the opposite way to almost another village." No wonder. I was endlessly walking for hours now. I face-palmed myself for it. How could I not find the village which was just few minutes by the bike? Well done. I should be applauding myself for this awesome shit. So it is this way? I said, pointing it out to him, and he simply nodded. Good luck getting back there without dying halfway through. With acceptance of my fate, I said thank you and started to move back in the direction that I walked from with such a high illusion that I wasn't lost. Juggling between walking and riding, I had crossed back half the way. It was tiring and the evening was turning into the night, adding to the chilling winds blowing now. It was getting a bit scary considering the fact that my brain is just a wonderful thing which could think about all the possible scary ghosts, psychopath killing people, and about the kidnapping and murder cases that could happen all the while walking through the road. That is just so awesome party I was having in my mind when a truck crossing me stopped. Right. This just turned from a coming of age adventure movie to a horror thriller maybe. Just when I was thinking about all the possibilities, why had the truck stopped there, a soothing voice of a grandpa came saying something to me when I could just stare at him while he was trying his best to make me understand what he was asking. When suddenly a hand came from the side and took my phone from my hand to look at the address that was written on it, scaring everything in me. I shouted as a reflex, thinking about every horror movie I could think of. But the other person didn't seem to be affected. He looked at me and then at the address. He was trying to figure out everything when he asked me, "Is this the place you want to go?" Still startled by his actions, I was awkwardly bending backwards and nodding yes. He read the address to the old man, which I think is his grandpa. After reading it out, he talked a few minutes and then turned to me. He is the village head and he says he can drop you there. Hearing those words, I could play countless episodes of murders and kidnappings. But you know what I said to him? "Are you sure?" Yes, I said that. Maybe because possible death was easier than walking for another hour. Yeah, he knows the owner and he can drop you and your bike. It is still funny to me that I was so tired that I was ready to risk it all just not to walk another hour. I truly applaud myself sometimes. Well, it turns out he really was the head of the village and he dropped me along with his grandson who knew English, which I am thankful for. So, if you found this book interesting, the book is available in Kindle and on Amazon in paperback version, and I hope you like it. Thank you.